the tight end along with Charlie Young. Play action fake to Hofer. And DeBerg under some heat. Hit, fumbled, and recovered by San Francisco.
You know,
Ron Singleton fell on it at the 25, back on the 20.
You know, Ben, that's a good call, a play action pass. 63, Zeile makes the play. He's in there because he's a little bit better pass rusher. But the 49ers, neither team has been able to make a big play. The 49ers are known as a gadget team. By that I mean they'll run some sort of a play that could foul the defense up. This is what they're going to have to do to get a big play.
Well, they're going to switch quarterbacks. That's what they're going to do. Joe Montana is in there now, 2nd and 21 from the 20. And let's see. With 1 minute and 8 seconds left in the third quarter, too much time.
Yeah, that's what happens when you substitute. You don't get the man in there early. Atlanta has taken the momentum away from the 49ers.
Delay, offense.
That makes it 2nd and 26. The ball is on the San Francisco 15-yard line. Just moments ago, they started on their 31. So Montana sending Clark left and Solomon right. Hofer and Cooper behind him. And Joe is going to set up a screen on the left side to Cooper. And Cooper is out to about the 20-yard line, and that's all.
Well, they're coming out of the hole. He hit the second back weak. Flow action weak. And now it's a matter of running ability and trying to pick up some yardage. It's a safe play for a quarterback like Montana coming in. That's his first pass.
So it is 3rd and 20 for Montana. The ball is on the 21-yard line. They go slot left. And they give it to Hofer. Randy Cross blocking, and Hofer went down. I think he might have stumbled. Never had much of a chance to move, so it'll be a 4th down, and San Francisco will have to give up the ball. Jeff Merrow is in there to mess up the play for Paul Hofer and the 49ers.
Now, Ben, here's where your punter becomes your offense. They can't move the ball very well. Here they're run at 3rd and 20. Now your punter has to come through with a long kick.
And the kick into the wind, and it's going to hang at about the 45-yard line, and that's where it hits and goes out of bounds right at the San Francisco 45. So for Jim Miller, kicking into the wind, best he can do is get it back out to the San Francisco 45, where Atlanta will take over.
Copier companies have been introducing small copiers with a very interesting claim.
It's just as good as a Xerox.
It's just as good as a Xerox.
Then one day...
this compact copier is very versatile. It even copies on your own letterhead. It's inexpensive, but best of all...
I know. It's just as good as a Xerox.
It is a Xerox.
The Xerox 2600, the compact copier that really is just as good as a Xerox.
You're about to see Ford pickups make 6-cylinder EPA fuel economy history. For 1981, Ford breaks this mileage barrier with the best estimated MPG ever achieved by a 6-cylinder pickup. And here's another breakthrough, the first and only automatic overdrive option in any 8-cylinder truck. When your speed reaches about 40, it automatically shifts into overdrive and your engine runs slower. Only Ford has V8 automatic overdrive. For 1981, Ford pickups make one breakthrough after another. They're built Ford tough.
Thursday, Gabe Kaplan stars in the network premiere of A Wild Comedy of Errors, Fast Break, a CBS special movie presentation. Thursday night at 9, 8 Central and Mountain.
A 23-yard punt into the wind by Jim Miller gives Atlanta excellent field position as they juggle footballs on the sidelines. It is 1st and 10 Atlanta at the 45. And Bartkowski with excellent field position now to make some more points. Steve going to put it up, got a little heat, and he's going deep, intended for Miller, no good. I think Miller might have caught that ball most of the time.
Looked like Miller should have had that ball. That's a good call. You have field position, you go play action. for a big play on first down. That throws the defense. He has all day to throw. He steps up. Now here it is. It looks like Miller has the ball. Look.
Right there.
He misjudged that. He misjudged that ball. By the way, Miller of the 49ers punted the ball real high. Into the wind, you punt the ball low. With the wind, you punt the ball high. That's the reason for that 23-yard punt.
A frustrated Junior Miller missing that reception. 2nd and 10 on the San Francisco 45. Bartkowski looking over the middle, and he's got Andrews at the 40, and he takes a licking and is driven inside the 35-yard line. So Andrews on the other end of a Bartkowski pass. Steve now is 8 for 14. Harper and Hicks bringing him down. That will be enough for the first down.
This is a big series for the 49er defense. They're behind. They can't give them any more points. Their offense is having trouble to move the ball.
And because of that lengthy 7.5-minute drive by Atlanta, the time was consumed and the quarter is history. Atlanta 6, San Francisco 3.
At about $4.50 a quart, this is one of the most expensive motor oils in the world. Or is it? If you drive 25,000 miles a year, the money you save on gas, oil changes, and oil filters alone can add up to $83. Up to $83 by switching from conventional 10W40 motor oil to synthetic Mobil 1. Mobil 1, the oil that saves you gas and more.
Hi, I'm Jack Buck with an offer from Budweiser that's going to be hard to pass up, but easy to catch. It's the Budweiser Gripper Football, custom made by Rawlings for armchair quarterbacks like us. And it plays so much easier than a regular-sized football. To order your own Bud Ball, just look for this Catch Budweiser display wherever you buy the King of Beers. You got it? Go get it. This Bud Ball is for you.
And so we go to the fourth quarter here at Candlestick Park. Vin Scully along with George Allen. Pull up a chair now and let's see how this one comes out with the Falcons leading 6-3. Bartkowski 1st and 10 on the San Francisco 34-yard line. Alfred Jenkins at the 30, inside the 25, and a necktie by Johnson, and a penalty flag dropped. So Charlie Johnson might have gotten some iron, and a face mask will be called. We'll see.
When you tackle that high, usually you get the face mask. He tackled him right around the neck.
Personal foul.
This is a vital series for the 49ers. I'm repeating myself. They're having trouble moving the ball on offense. They can't give the Falcons a touchdown here. They might give them a field goal, but that's the way you have to think. They can't score a touchdown.
Personal foul. Shot to the head. 44 on the defense. First down.
They call
Charlie
that
Johnson.
Here it is.
And there it is around the neck, and then pull him down.
Some backs tackle that way.
1st and 10 from the 12-yard line, and Lynn Kane trying to get outside, cutting back to the 10-yard line, and that's where San Francisco stacks him up. Up at the very top of that is Willie Harper.
You know, that penalty is a judgment call. If it's clubbing, if you club with your forearm, then that's an illegal shot to the head or to the neck.
Well, it'll be 2nd and 8. The ball is on the San Francisco 10-yard line. Atlanta holding on to the football throughout the third quarter in an extensive drive, settling for a field goal to take the lead, and now they have a chance to get on the scoreboard with the only touchdown of the day. That's Junior Miller, the big tight end, in motion. And Bartkowski looking right and just does get the pass away to Alfred Jackson, a touchdown.
What a job Bartkowski did. He was rushed, he stepped up, he got the ball away, threw a perfect strike. Let's see if we can see it again. Here he is going back. He avoids Pillars, steps forward, throws off balance, and throws a strike. Nice catch.
So for Jackson, that is his 3rd touchdown of this young year. And now Tim Mazzetti will come in to try and add another. It is 12-3 Atlanta, and the kick is good. Flags all over the place.
Low snap on that kick.
So Mazzetti holding his ground. Evidently it's against
66.
Atlanta, and it is. It was Warren Bryant who was offside, number 66.
You know, we've had more penalties this year on extra points. That's just a lack of concentration. You take for granted you're going to kick the extra point and somebody goes in motion. Somebody lets down.
Tim Mazzetti. He's an interesting kid, born in Brazil. Raised over there, came back here and went to the University of Pennsylvania.
Offense.
You know, he missed one like this against the Vikings that cost him the ball game.
Yes,
Do you remember
indeed.
that, Ben?
And how? So James holding at the 15. High snap. But he got it up and through. So Tim Mazzetti drills it. He's 9 out of 10 in points and will return to Candlestick Park after this word from your local station.
With Medicare costs out of sight, 60 Minutes looks at a hospital bill. Length of stay, 23 days. Size of bill, $77,000. Sunday on CBS.
This is CBS.
They still got time to pull it out, but they're going to have to.
Elliott.
They're going to have to throw the ball, Bob.
Land, Ramson, and Bungarda.
Yeah. Well, you give me a call. We should take a shot of DeBerg and.
Ready for the kickoff. We can take one more look at that pass from Bartkowski, getting away from Pillars and releasing to Alfred Jackson. There's Pillars, had him for the moment. He had a throw over Ted Vincent, and he found Jackson in the corner, and the TD. The point after is good despite the penalty, so it is 13-3 Atlanta, and we have 14 minutes left in the game. Mazzetti kicking into the wind. And it will be Lenville Elliott from a yard in the end zone to the 10, to the 20, to the 25, falls across to the 26, and again Mayberry was the man to hit him.
Been a good kick by Mazzetti into the wind. A very good kick. That ball was in the end zone. But he didn't kick it high, he kicked it low. You kick low into the wind, high with the wind.
So 1st and 10 for San Francisco. They find themselves in a rather awkward position. And of course, you said before the ball game, George, you had a feeling Atlanta was going to upset them.
Yes.
Steve DeBerg is back in there at quarterback. And DeBerg having to repeat himself. Solomon now goes wide right, and Clark is left.
Come on, let's go!
And Clark was there and couldn't hold on to it.
Well, that wasn't DeBerg's fault. That was a well-executed play. Clark slipped a little bit. See if we can see it. As he comes out of his move, he slips. And then when he goes up for the ball, it's thrown high. His timing is off. The defender fell down also.
So it is 2nd and 10 from the 26. Clark again left. Solomon on a wing and in motion. Play action fake to Cooper, and the pass down the middle again over Clark's head and almost scooped up by Kenny Johnson.
Well, Clark was open. DeBerg had the time. Clark was open. The ball was overthrown, almost intercepted. Here it is. Motion, fakes to Cooper, the fullback. Now he's open down there. Throwing too high.
3rd and 10 for DeBerg, and you almost get the feeling if he doesn't keep a drive going, the young San Francisco team will be deflated. So 3rd and 10, Atlanta trying to stiffen. DeBerg, to no one's surprise, throwing to Hofer to the 25, upended and out at the 28. Frank Reed was the first man to make contact.
Well, then that's what you want to do. They took away the downfield pass. Make them dump it off to the backs, dumped it off to Hofer. You shouldn't pick up 10 yards.
They only picked up 3, so it is 4th and 7. And little Reggie Smith will go back on the Atlanta 30-yard line. See Miller's punt from the 18, and he had a low line drive. Reggie takes it at the 29 and decides to go to the left side. Now there he goes up the alley and didn't get to the 40-yard line. He stepped out at the 39-yard line. Churchman got him and knocked him out.
Miller kicked a line drive.
This is God speaking. Yeah, God. Haven't heard from me lately, huh? Well, I've been keeping busy. By the way, I just finished a new movie called Oh God, Book 2, starring George Burns. Now, I'm not saying that anybody who went to see God's first movie will fall out of favor if they don't see God's second movie. But why look for trouble?
Oh God, Book 2, from Warner Brothers, rated PG.
Opens October 3rd. Check newspaper for local listing.
Introducing an American car designed for a changing world and with a commitment to quality. The beautifully new Ford Granada in a new smaller size with its highest mileage ratings ever. And with Ford's attention to detail, every door is hand adjusted. Every seat is hand fitted. Every car is examined by 38 quality inspectors. The kind of detail you can see, feel, and hear. The new Granada, built for a changing world from Ford.
Live, Pedroza and Lockridge for the WBA featherweight title. Plus, highlights of the Acapulco Cliff Divers next Saturday, 3:30 Eastern on the CBS Sports Spectacular.
The Atlanta Falcons have a good football team, a much better team than their record would indicate, and a large crowd here at Candlestick starting to get that feeling. 1st and 10 Falcons on their own 38. Bartkowski has Andrews and Kane, and he'll try Lynn Kane. Still on his feet, got out to about the 44. Ricky Churchman and Bobby Leopold bringing him down.
Here's where the Falcons running game comes in. You're ahead 13-3. You have good field position. Keep the clock moving. Run the football. Make the 49ers stop the run. Then mix in a play action pass.
2nd and 5 for Bartkowski, and he goes slot left. Here's Jackins inside Jenkins. And it's Andrews. He still has a couple to go for a first down. George, I think a lot of people coming into this ball game thought, oh, we're going to see a lot of touchdowns today because neither team known for a great defense, both with very good young quarterbacks. The two men who figured to move the ball a lot, Andrews and Hofer for San Francisco, and instead it has been a very low-scoring game.
Yes, we haven't had one big play by either offense today, not one big play. The only way the 49ers can get back at this game now is a turnover, a big play by the defense or a big play on offense.
3rd and 3 on the Atlanta 46. And Bartkowski going over the middle to Junior Miller, and Danny Bunch finally brings him down with help from Dwight Hicks, but he more than picked up the first down. He went out of bounds at the 37.
And you see, that was an excellent call. A short, safe pass, 3rd and 3, and let him run with the ball. Watch this guy run with that football. Let him pick up the yardage on the run. Don't take the chance and put the ball downfield for an interception.
So the first-round draft choice, Junior Miller, comes up with a big play. He's spotted at the 37-yard line of San Francisco, where Atlanta has it 1st and 10. Andrews. And there goes Andrews inside the 30, 25, and rolling down to about the 23-yard line. Charlie Johnson bringing him down.
Sloppy tackling on that. Good running by Andrews. Both sides. The hole was jammed. Again, he sees the hole jammed. He pushes off, goes outside. Churchman missed him.
Johnson got him.
Johnson got him, wrestled him down.
So to the San Francisco 22-yard line. It is 1st and 10, and Bartkowski on a roll now. He's going to try Lynn Kane, and he fumbles, hit by Pillars, and I think Atlanta might have recovered it. Yep, they did.
Well, that's what we were talking about, that the 49er defense had to make a big play.
Dwight Hicks almost came up with it after Pillars stripped him, but it got away from Hicks.
Here it is.
Lynn Kane, number 21. Here's Pillars now. Hooked him, and there's the loose ball.
I don't know whether you could notice it, but Kane wasn't carrying that ball very solidly. He didn't have his hand over the nose of the football. You can't protect the ball carrying it that way.
So 2nd and 12, the ball at the 25-yard line for Bartkowski. Andrews the setback behind him. Steve looking left. No good. Alfred Jenkins, and Charlie Johnson might be guilty of pass interference. Charlie Johnson, number 44, pushing Jenkins.
Well, there was a mix-up on the pattern. Bartkowski threw an out-and-out. Expected the receiver running out, and he turned up. It's a tough break for the 49ers on this play.
Defensive pass interference, number 44, 1st down.
So that turns out to be a 12-yard pass penalty. It puts the ball at the San Francisco 14-yard line.
Here it is. Atlanta makes a mistake on this. He throws an out move, and the receiver's already turned upfield. Looks like he may have grabbed him. It's hard to tell. Any contact downfield, whether it's incidental or not, is a defensive penalty under the new rule.
Jenkins has caught 3 for 29 yards today. There goes Andrews, and Andrews barreling to the 10-yard line. And Atlanta, you get the feeling, dominating the game ever since they got the football at the start of the second half.
This series right now is the ball game for either side. 49ers defense has to stiffen. If the Falcons score a touchdown, they're in great shape.
Lehman Bennett, coach of the year in the NFC a couple of years ago. Watching his Falcons come into San Francisco and try and upset San Francisco's apple cart. They're leading 13-3. 2nd and 6. From the 10, here's Andrews. And he got on his feet. He won't go down. And all by himself, I believe he might have picked up the 1st down. What a great third effort.
Yeah. We've been talking about the leg drive that Andrews has. And also when you tackle him high like the 49ers did, he's going to drag you. Here it is. It's just a slant play to the fullback. Now he cuts inside of Harper. Harper loses him. We got bunts on him. And Archie Reese, he's carrying him. Tremendous effort.
So it's 1st and goal on the 2. Take another look at Andrews, but the Niners have broken the huddle. Lynn Kane and Andrews behind Bartkowski. They'll go to Kane. And he spins across and into the end zone for the touchdown that would apparently put San Francisco away. Jimmy Webb and Ted Vincent finally stopping him too late.
And again, here they have him behind the line right here. But he keeps driving and he scores. They took advantage of the field position they had. Here it is again. Lynn Kane driving in, spinning, turning.
So they went from the Atlanta 39 for the touchdown. Now Mazzetti with his team leading 19-3. And he rounds it off. So suddenly here in the final quarter, Atlanta has come alive with 2 touchdowns, and they are leading San Francisco 20-3.
At JCPenney Auto Centers, we won't give you the business because we want to keep your business.
They didn't sell me the JCPenney battery. They said the 5-year battery was powerful enough for my car. It was.
I thought I needed new shock absorbers. They told me my tires were too hard.
I came in for ordinary radials. I came out with new Mileage Maker XP all-season steel-belted radials. They steered me right.
JCPenney Auto Centers, we won't steer you wrong.
Taste Sheridan. Taste Sheridan. Come to a Sheridan.
I love the taste of Sheridan's.
You're gonna love every inch of the place. We've got taste.
Sheridan, you've got taste.
We've got style.
For a taste of Sheridan worldwide, call 800-325-3535.
We've got taste.
Next Sunday, the best team in football gets even better. Phyllis George returns to join Brent Musburger, Irv Cross, and Jimmy the Greek, the NFL Today team of CBS Sports.
A somewhat quiet crowd here at Candlestick Park as the Atlanta Falcons enjoying themselves, leading 20-3 with 8 minutes and 13 seconds left in the game. And Tim Mazzetti will be kicking to Phil Francis and Charlie Johnson. Johnson, for the first time today, going back to possibly return. He's double forward. However, it is a short kick. It hits, and Francis will take it at about the 3. And they're going to bury him down at about the 1. Ray Strong down there to hit him. So James Mayberry and Ray Strong putting a lot of heat.
Francis had to feel that ball. He couldn't let it bounce. It's a live ball. If the Falcons go down there and recover it, they have possession. He thought the ball was going to bounce out of bounds, but he was forced to pick it up. He has no chance here.
So there's Ray Strong tackling him. And San Francisco not only down 20-3, only 8 minutes left, and they put it in play 1st and 10 from their own 4-yard line. On a draw to Hofer, and it is Hofer hit almost immediately by Curry as he crossed the 10. Buddy Curry, a hard-nosed rookie linebacker out of North Carolina, he was a number 2 draft choice. He's been playing very well for Atlanta.
He's done a good job for him. He's very aggressive. He covers a lot of ground. Now the 49ers ran a draw there, which is all right coming out of the hole. They're going to have to put the ball up even though they don't want it in this area of the field.
So 2nd and almost 7 for DeBerg as he moves Cooper slightly to his right. Passing from the end zone, DeBerg is going to hang it high and just off the fingertips of the intended receiver, Dwight Clark.
Well, that was the first big play that they had a chance to complete. Clark should have had that. Now the ball, if we see that again, the ball fluttered just a little bit and went off of the fingertips. He ran an out and up. Here it is. You see that? He should have caught the ball.
That's Kenny Johnson defending, and Tom Pridemore came over to get in a lick.
They're still going on Kenny Johnson. Still trying to get a big play on Kenny Johnson.
56,518. Seeing Atlanta dominate the second half, leading 20-3. You can see the 3rd down conversion. And DeBerg to Solomon. And Solomon is to the 40, to midfield. Richardson and Roland Lawrence chasing him. He's gone. 93 yards. Freddie Solomon out racing the Falcons. That makes it 20-9 Atlanta.
Here it is. A stop pattern to Freddie Solomon. He does this on his own.
Got away from Reed. Got away from Pridemore.
Just use his speed now.
Chased by Lawrence and Richardson, and he's gone. Well, that sure woke people up. Freddie Solomon, a 93-yard touchdown play. For Solomon, his 2nd touchdown of the year. Now Ray Wersching. Out of the hole by Montana. kicks it through. That is the longest touchdown pass in San Francisco history.
That doesn't seem right.
93 yards.
Yeah, you would think there were some longer ones over the years.
Take another look at it. DeBerg to Solomon, but it looks like he was going to be stopped by Frank Reed almost immediately, but Reed bounced off him. And that's all Solomon needed. So it is 20-10, Atlanta.
Here's another Radio Shack major computer breakthrough. The amazing new TRS-80 Pocket Computer, only $249. Imagine a basic language computer that weighs just 6 ounces. Now carry TRS-80 power in your pocket while traveling, on the job, solve problems, process data, and store it in permanent memory for instant recall. The amazing TRS-80 Pocket Computer, only at Radio Shack, the biggest name in little computers.
Introducing the new world car, Ford Escort, with better ideas from around the world at your fingertips. Road-hugging four-wheel independent suspension, front-wheel drive, precise rack and pinion steering, stabilizer bar for tight turns, new power-efficient engine for easy freeway cruising, and higher gas mileage ratings than Rabbit, Accord, Corolla hatchback. Ford Escort, built in America to take on the world.
Well, we'll see about the 49ers roaring back, and the first thing Atlanta wants in defense is the possibility of an onside kick. Will you do it with 7 minutes left in the game?
Too much time, and they have 9 men up. They're ready for it.
Only Reggie Smith is deep. The kick by Wersching will be a low line drive, and Smith has to chase it into the end zone. And it will not be returned, so Atlanta will put it in play. 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line.
On that touchdown pass, Ben, to Solomon, Reed didn't try to tackle him. Looked like he tried to block him or knock him down. Didn't use his arms. Now, everything is on the 49ers defense. It's a new game here. 10 points, touchdown to field goal. They can come back.
The longest previous pass in San Francisco history, 85 yards from Jim Plunkett to Delvin Williams against a team by the name of the Washington Redskins 4 years ago.
And the coach was Allen.
1st and 10 on the 20. Second man is Lynn Kane. And now, of course, the defense is fired up by the crowd. And if San Francisco can stiffen, we might have a ball game right down to the wire.
And now the Atlanta offense will try to keep the ball on the ground, keep the clock moving, pick up the first down, rushing the football.
Ted Vincent is shaken up on the play. Vincent, big fella, 6'4", 265. And I don't know whether he can continue.
You know, Ben, they got him as a free agent last year, you recall?
Yep.
And he's done a heck of a job for them.
Got him on waivers from Cincinnati. In fact, when you look at the San Francisco team, you realize that Bill Walsh spends some time there. He has a habit of picking up waived players from Cincinnati.
Linville Elliott. There he's going down.
Number 70, Dave Scott, hit him and knocked him down. Jim Kroll will take over for Ted Vincent. But, of course, the 49ers lost a great young defensive end in Dwayne Board. Now they lose Ted Vincent. So it is 2nd and 8 on the Atlanta 22. Lynn Kane trying to get outside, and he is upended. Charles Cornelius threw a block at him. Danny Bunz finally brought him down. He got across the 25 out to the 28-yard line.
Well, the Falcons ran a pretty good sweep here. This play almost broke. The 49ers did not defense this properly. Good blocking by the Falcons. They can run that again and make yardage if they defense it that way. Now we got 3rd and 1. What a big play this is.
It's really about 3rd and 2, and we'll see how Bartkowski moves his ball club with Andrews and Kane behind him. Mayberry on a wing outside Junior Miller on the right side. McKiska, the tight end, on the left side. And they go to Andrews. And Bunz stripped the ball, but it's recovered by Atlanta. Danny Bunz stripped the ball.
Yep. He had the first down. He had the first down. Danny Bunz knocked the ball loose. Here it is. He bounces outside. Now he's got the first down right here. talked about him not carrying the ball properly before.
That's the third Atlanta fumble, but they haven't lost the ball yet. And on a fourth down play, once again, John James has to come up with a big one, and he's kicking into the wind. Solomon and Hicks are standing on the San Francisco 35. John has had some trouble punting today, and he gets one high. That's his best kick of the day. Solomon goes back to the 20, fumbles, falls down, and holds on to the ball.
4.5 hang time. Very good.
Tom Pridemore almost recovered Solomon's juggle. And don't you know the pro always comes up with his best play under pressure.
That expresses it perfectly. He came through in the clutch.
56-yard punt for John James.
The League of Women Voters invited President Carter to join the 1980 debates. He refused the invitation. Maybe it's because during his administration, inflation has gone as high as 18%. The number of Americans out of work has reached 8.5 million. Housing starts have hit a new low, while interest rates have hit a new high. Maybe he won't debate because he knows the real question is, can we afford 4 more years of this?
The time is now for Reagan. Reagan for president.
Professional diver Richard Stewart and his daughter Christy. What did they find beautiful and exciting?
Stamp collecting.
It's another way for us to explore nature together. Learn about exciting events and American heroes too. We collect U.S. commemoratives because they're beautiful.
And fun.
And it's something we can do together.
When we come up for air.
Collect the coral reefs, block of 4 at your post office now.
Coming, the true story playing for time, starring Vanessa Redgrave, Jane Alexander, Shirley Knight, Marissa Berenson, and Melanie Mayron. Tuesday night.
With 5 minutes and 25 seconds left in the game, Atlanta leading San Francisco 20-10. San Francisco first and 10 on the 49er 18-yard line, and DeBerg asking for quiet. In motion is Freddie Solomon. DeBerg has passed for 240 yards today. This time he goes to Cooper, and he steps out of bounds. He crossed the 20, went out at the 22, so they'll pick up a 4.
Well, his progression was to look downfield. They're still trying to work on number 37, Johnson, the right corner. Nobody open. He dumps it off to Cooper, and Cooper barely stays in bounds here. Here it is again. Flow action to the right side of the defense. Good play.
2nd and 6 on the 22 for DeBerg. The backs flare. One stays as Hofer with a little screen, but he had John Ayers to block for him, and Richardson came out to knock him down. Al Richardson figures so prominently in this game. Remember, he has 2 big interceptions.
Yes, one-man screen. One-man screen.
The screen was Ayers, and there were too many white shirts. So it is 3rd down. A little more than a yard.
Defensively, Ben, you might give him the first down, but you don't give him a big play.
But DeBerg 3rd and 1 gives it to Hofer, and they stack him at the line. It didn't appear as if he made it, and the officials will have to untangle, and we'll see where they put the ball down.
Yeah, it's always where they spot the ball. In that situation, first down. Sometimes you gang up and you try to stop the run, they get a big play on you.
So Hofer just did squirm another inch and got the first down. And Bill Walsh has 4 minutes and 29 seconds for the 49ers to catch the Falcons. And Lehman Bennett leading 20-10. It's that pacing time on the sidelines, George.
That's when it's nice to be up here.
1st and 10, 28. Play action fake. DeBerg completes it to the tight end, Eason Ramson, across the 45. Remember, Ramson had been shaken up earlier in the game, but he makes the reception, and they'll spot it at the 47.
You know,
1st and 10.
Then a good pass here. He might make a long look. He has to dive for the ball. It brings him to the ground, but he was open. A good pass. He'd have gone another 20 yards.
DeBerg now for 268 yards. Ramson going down on his own. Pridemore making sure he stayed down. DeBerg to Cooper, and Cooper shaken up by the presence of Dewey McClain and had to go off his hands. He was probably looking for McClain.
Exactly. He knew that McClain was there. He wasn't looking at the ball. He never had possession of the ball.
McClain, a hard hitter. In fact, it was McClain, I believe, who hit Ramson earlier in the game and shook him up.
Yes, it was.
Baltimore leading the Jets 28-14 in the fourth.
Somebody picked the Jets to go to the Super Bowl.
There's always somebody. San Diego 24-7 over Kansas City. 2nd and 10 from the 47. DeBerg on a deep drop and goes to Ramson, and he is hit by Richardson at midfield. And the clock is running with 3:24.
Atlanta's playing smart. They're giving them the short stuff. The short stuff won't beat you. The clock will be on your side. Take away the downfield passes. Give them the underneath passes.
So from midfield, it's 3rd and 7 for San Francisco. 3 minutes and 6 seconds left in the game, and the 49ers trailing by 10. DeBerg, the left side, completes his pass, and out of bounds at about the 43-yard line.
And
Dwight Clark made the catch.
Excuse me, Ben, and they're still working on Johnson, 37. I believe he got the first down.
They're going to double check. He went out in the vicinity of the marker.
There it is. Well, the pass brought him back. He came back for the ball. He may have lost the first down.
First down with 2 minutes and 48 seconds left in the game. San Francisco and Bill Walsh at the helm trying to get back, but they're down by 10. The ball on the Atlanta 43-yard line. Out of the eye with Cooper, the up back. And DeBerg is going to crank up and go deep to Clark. No good. Johnson right there with him.
And Clark did something very smart. Shows some intelligence, good football sense. That ball could have been intercepted. Now watch Clark. He ran an out and up, and he can't get it. He swats it away. Now watch him knock the ball away so Johnson can't get it. Good football.
Dwight Clark was a 10th round draft choice last year. Of course, good sense comes with all of them, no matter how high or low the draft choice, and he's got it. And Atlanta has the lead, 20-10. 2nd and 10 from the 43. They send Solomon right and Clark left. DeBerg over the middle, and Clark makes the reception for the first down at the 30-yard line. He was hit by Kenny Johnson.
Jeez, are they working on Johnson over there? Everything is in that area of the field.
With 2 minutes and 17 seconds left. Kenny's a rookie from Mississippi State. 1st and 10. DeBerg, a little release to Hofer. Hofer bounces off 2 people and gets inside the 20. Buddy Curry had hit him first, but he bounced off Curry and did it on his own. Pennywell and Johnson bring him down. Paul Hofer, he's a hard nose.
He shows his balance here. He's hit and keeps his balance.
2-minute warning.
Watch this.
That's Curry, that's Richardson.
This bud's for everyone who lives the life of the sea.
This bud's for you. For all you do, the king of beers is coming through.
Yeah, just for you, that distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
For all you do, this bud's for you.
Mustang! The sky's the limit for 1981. Now Mustang's available with a rakish new T-roof. Mustang, born to run with the wind, sure-footed to handle quick turns. Mustang, a world of high gas mileage you might not expect from such a high-spirited car.
Mustang!
Capture a Mustang, America's most popular sports car. From the world of better ideas at Ford.
Two minutes left in the ball game, exactly 2. Our thanks to those people who worked so hard. Executive producer Charles Milton, producers Bob Rowe, our director Andy Kendall. I'd like to thank Dr. Bob Woods for all his help and for Bob Coffey's help as well here in the booth. And all the other fellows who have worked so hard to bring it to you. 2 minutes left. It is 2nd and 1 for San Francisco on the Atlanta 19-yard line. 20-10 in favor of Atlanta, and it looked like they had it made until Freddie Solomon went 93 on the pass, and that just woke everybody up.
That big play, shoddy tackling. Let's see if the 49ers continue to work on Johnson over there. The Atlanta defense has to give him a little bit of help because Clark is going to be on him again, and Clark has a height advantage.
There's Kenny Johnson. He's 5'10", 176-pounder, only 22 years old. He was the 5th-round draft choice, and the San Francisco 49ers are trying to age him a little.
And Clark is 6'3".
And Clark is coming wide left where Johnson is. 2nd and 1. In motion is Hofer. DeBerg looking right, and now he's going to swing it to Cooper, and Cooper goes out of bounds. On a 2nd and 1, he picked up the first down and stopped the clock.
Cooper did the right thing. He got the first down, got out of bounds and stopped the clock, because in order for the 49ers to have any chance here, they have to score this series. Doesn't matter whether they score 3 or 7, either one. And you don't get to try to get the touchdown so badly that you don't get a field goal, because you got to score 10.
1st and 10 on the Atlanta 17-yard line. We have 1 minute and 53. Each team with 3 timeouts. DeBerg getting some heat and dumps it off in the end zone to Clark. And he goes out at about the 2-yard line. And again, it was Clark going against Kenny Johnson.
Yeah. And what the Falcons did, they came with everybody.
Dewey McClain almost got him.
One-on-one. The defensive back has to take away the inside, which Johnson did.
And wait a minute, there's a flag on the play. And it will be against San Francisco. So scratch that play.
That was
holding offense number 68.
So Ayers guilty of holding, and a big holding penalty indeed. The 49ers are furious. Let's take a look at it.
Well, they came with more rushers, more people than the 49ers could pick up. It looked like he tackled them there.
So with 1 minute and 47, it is 1st and 20 from the 27. And DeBerg going for the downs to Clark, and he couldn't hold it. He had Johnson beaten in the end zone, but he couldn't hold on to it.
Had a touchdown. I'll tell you what, they've thrown the ball to Clark so much that he's running out of gas. Watch this. DeBerg has done a tremendous job these last 2 plays. He's got all day to throw. He threads the needle. He's got him beaten. Should have had that ball.
You realize what kind of a ball game this would have been had San Francisco scored or even kicked the field goal when they had it 4th and goal on the 1.
Exactly, Ben.
So now we have 1 minute 40. DeBerg has passed for 304 yards, but he's losing, and that's really all that counts. 2nd and 20 from the 27. And he'll go for another big yardage scoop. No good. Intended for Paul Hofer. And Pridemore down there to break it up.
I'll tell you, DeBerg is showing me something today. He's putting the ball on the money. Now, that's good defense by the Falcons.
Tom Pridemore, they tell us, ran for the House of Delegates in West Virginia, and if he wins the election in November, he'll be more than a football player. 3rd and 20 from the 27.
Here it is.
1 minute and 35 left.
Play action. Good defense.
Well, he's not going to get a vote from Hofer, as DeBerg battling the Falcons and the clock. Going in the end zone deep, and Cooper! And there's a flag down.
It's on Atlanta. The penalty's on Atlanta. Atlanta's offsides, I believe.
Earl Cooper, the rookie out of Rice, gathered it in.
Great catch.
With 1 minute and 28 seconds.
The penalty's...
It is against Atlanta. The touchdown counts.
Against Atlanta. Offsides. He caught.
And I hate to say it, but there's Kenny Johnson.
They only need this right half of the field. They don't need the other half.
Boy, it's tough to be a rookie in this league, isn't it?
You got to give him some help.
With 1 minute and 28, Ray Wersching now has to kick it through to get San Francisco to within 3. The spot, the kick, it's good. We've got 1 minute and 28 seconds left. Atlanta 20, San Francisco 17. So after all the passes to Hofer and after all the passes to Clark, they finally connect to Cooper.
In the same area of the field, a different receiver.
You know, you were talking, George, about Clark running out of gas.
Yeah.
How about Kenny Johnson?
Yeah, that's right. You know, I've had situations like this. You got to give Kenny Johnson a lot of help. They're working on him. There's no rookie that can handle a receiver alone.
And it was a great catch.
Great catch.
Fingertip catch.
Great throw. DeBerg is putting the ball on the money. There's no defense for a perfect pass. Now, they have to go onside kick. They have to go onside kick.
Let's see who's up front for Atlanta. They have Francis and Lawrence. They have Kane, Jackson, and Mayberry. So the front line are all people who can handle the ball. Backed up by McKeeska.
The big thing here, Ben, is how well the kicker can place the ball. Last week, we saw Mosley flub it, kicked it right to Casper. No chance to recover it. Depends on everything's on the kicker now.
So you have 9 men up for Atlanta. The deepest man is Reggie Smith. He doesn't figure to see the ball. Up front of him is Pridemore. Let's see Wersching's attempt for an onside kick. Here it comes. He kicks it towards Mayberry.
I don't think it went.
I don't think it went
10
yards.
It didn't go 10 yards.
No.
It did not.
Alfred Jackson recovered it, but Wersching
bad kick.
failed to kick it 10 yards.
See, that bad kick. Bad kick. No chance.
So there's a big break. Alfred Jackson holding on to it.
It comes right down to the special teams. Decides the ball game one way or the other.
And now Atlanta, with everything its favors, the time, the score, and field position on the San Francisco 44. 1 minute, 27 seconds left in the game. Here comes Lynn Kane inside Andrews' block, and he got down to about the 41.
Well, they have to use all their timeouts. The 49ers have 3 timeouts remaining. They got to hope to stop them, use all 3 timeouts, then go for a block kick. Or strip the ball here, force a fumble. You know, you said earlier that spurning the field goal, going for the 4th down play for the touchdown, real big right now.
And how the Atlanta defense has to get a tremendous pat on the back. And, of course, the San Francisco offense will have to live with the choice and the results all week long. They had a 1st and goal situation. San Francisco had it 4th and goal from the 1, elected to go for the touchdown instead of the cinch field goal. Came up empty, and that is now the difference in the game.
You know, in every game the Falcons have had this year, whether they've been behind or ahead, it always ends up on the last series.
For Lehman Bennett, he came in here as the youngest head coach in the NFC, but he's aging rapidly with these Falcons. So 2nd and 7 on the 41 for Barkowski with 1 minute 20 left. Andrews finds a hole. They're trying for the ball, but they can't get it out of his grasp.
Well, they're giving him too many yardage, too much yardage. All the Falcons have to do now is really fall in the football.
Danny Buns, watch number 57, try to take the ball away, and Andrews is going to hold on to it right here. He hooks him with the right hand. Andrews said, not this time of day.
Well, everybody should be up tighter. Those defensive backs are playing too deep. If they're going to throw the ball, let them throw the ball. You got to stop the running game. They aren't going to take a chance and throw the ball. The defensive backs should be up there almost like linebackers.
By the way, the Falcons with 3 timeouts left, the 49ers only 1. William Andrews has carried for 98 yards, 19 carries. He has been the horse. Lynn Kane has carried 15 times for 56 yards, but Andrews is the outstanding running back of the day. So 3rd and 2 from the 36. And he'll go to Andrews again, but he runs into his own man and goes down.
They played it perfectly that time. They were up there tight.
A minute and 3 seconds left in the game.
No timeouts left. They used their last timeout. Now, Ben, you know, as a coach, you got to decide: am I going to punt the ball, or am I going to go for it? They're going to punt the football.
John James has a reputation of being about as good a pooch kicker as there is in the league, and we'll see if he can arrow one short of the end zone. He has kicked 6 of his 14 punts this year have been inside the 20-yard line.
And you know, you said it earlier, the pro comes through in the clutch. Remember that one punt that he had a kick? He hadn't punted well all day, against the wind, had a great hang time. Again, same thing.
John James was averaging only in the 30s, which is a shock. And then when all the chips were on the line, he punted one for 56 yards.
And I'll tell you one more thing, Ben. My gosh, Seattle upset Washington. Blocking the kick here, you can't worry about roughing the kicker. You got to go in there, sell out. If you rough them, take a chance, because your only chance, you're not going to return a kick for a touchdown.
John James has had only 3 of his punts blocked in 9 years. So there's the veteran, outstanding punter. Hicks is deep on the San Francisco 10. 1 minute and 3 seconds left in the game. Trying to get San Francisco to jump. Bad snap, but he got it away.
Gee whiz.
And Hicks standing, watching that ball bounce and kick, and it's going to go out of bounds. Let's see where they mark it. Just about at the 10-yard line.
What a break the 49ers got. They had the punt block on, and you want a bad snap. And they still didn't rush it.
Still didn't get it. So John James kicks it out, and they'll spot it at the 10-yard line. And there you have it with 54 seconds left. Now San Francisco has 2 timeouts left, but they got a long way to go.
You go for a field goal here. You're shooting to get a position for a field goal.
Which is the point. If San Francisco gets in any kind of distance, they will be kicking with the wind. But DeBerg has to move them. 1st and 10 from the 10. Only Cooper alone in the backfield. DeBerg from the end zone. No good.
Well, you know, Ben, rolling out gets you away from the rush, but it brings everybody in the area where you're going to throw. Did you notice that? They had everybody over there.
Hofer was there, and there must have been 6 white shirts around him.
No chance. We'll see if they still go back on number 37 Johnson here. If they still go to the well one more time.
1st and 10 on the San Francisco 10. Paul Hofer comes out. We'll check the possible receivers. Clark and Owens and Solomons and Ranson. Look out for 89.
Right.
James Owens. He's a speed burner. DeBerg back to the end zone. But he's going to give it to Cooper, who dropped it. And he might have heard Pennywell.
Pennywell's key was Cooper. Don't be lulled asleep by the 3 receivers on one side. Pennywell stayed right with him.
And now suddenly it is 3rd and 10 for DeBerg. And 43 seconds left.
He's got to get the first down here. He's got to go deep. He can't be fooling around with the short stuff and hope they're going to run for a first down. He's got to throw a pattern to get 11 yards. Don't fool with 10. Get 11.
They're putting Dwight Clark over on the left side. That's Kenny Johnson's side. And let's see if they try to exploit the rookie in the clutch. And they're going over there towards Hofer. Hofer not getting out of bounds. He tried to get out, and he couldn't do it at the 20.
You know why? He was trying to get the first down rather than get out of bounds.
27 seconds left. And I think it'll be barely the first down. He got it.
Yeah, you're better off to save the time. You need the time here.
Richardson had hooked him to slow him up, but he got the down. Now DeBerg has to go deep down the right side, right in and out of the hands of Freddie Solomon, who was standing at the 35-yard line.
I think he was looking into the sun, don't you?
I'm surprised they're going that way. I was just going to say, that's the tough catch on that side of the field.
Over here, they still have a first down or 10, 12, 14-yardage on Johnson's side if they want it. Johnson's playing so deep that you can't get behind him.
19 seconds left in the game. It is 20-17 Atlanta.
You got time for 4 plays with 19 seconds if you throw the right passes.
James Owens, number 89, is in there on Kenny Johnson's side on a 2nd and 10 for DeBerg. Instead, he goes short to Cooper, who steps out of bounds at about the 24-yard line. Buddy Curry was there to drill him.
Well, you see, the Falcons are giving them the short stuff. They're playing deep. You can't get behind them. Good, smart defensive football. 3rd down and 6. 12 seconds to play.
DeBerg is 32 for 50, 345 yards, and let's face it, it doesn't mean anything if you lose.
Yeah, that's like getting about 15 singles.
12 seconds left in the game. They send Clark left. Ramson and Freddie Solomon go right. Hofer is in a slot left. And DeBerg now has to loosen up and leads Hofer too much. And we have 7 seconds left.
They're trying to get behind Johnson. They can't do it. He's playing 20 yards deep. DeBerg was trying to go downfield deep. Then the last second, he dumped it off to Hofer.
So unless there is a bomb in the last 7 seconds, San Francisco, undefeated coming in, will lose. And for a good Atlanta club, they will get to the 500 mark.
They got to send Owens, 89, on a go pattern. Let DeBerg throw the ball as far as he can and hope they get a big play out of it.
Ramson and Solomon and Owens. They go 3 receivers on the left side. And this is it for Steve DeBerg and the 49ers. And he is sacked. Steve DeBerg upended at the last minute by Yates. It was Jeff Yates, number 79, who sacked him. And Bill Walsh comes $3 short. And Lehman Bennett has evened up his ball club's record at 2-2, the same as the Rams. And San Francisco is now 3-1. This has been Scully for George Allen. The NFL on CBS is a presentation of